Thursday morning, everyone. Hi, Joyce. Welcome to Mystery Quilt Card Thursday. My name is Julie Heights. I'm the chirpy card maker of Quilts and More, and I'm so glad that you are here. So if you're watching, please jump on, say hello, and if you're new, let us know where you're watching from. I'm just going to follow the laptop here. There's comments coming up. Good morning, Susan and Vesta and Linda and Barb. Peggy, welcome everybody. I am so glad that you could make it. I got a really cute block to show you today. On Wednesdays, I make a post and I tell you what to prep for today's mystery quilt block, and on the weekend I will post the PDF in the community group Quilt Cards and More, which you can find a link to from the Chirpy Card Maker page. And if you have a hard time finding that link, always reach out to me. I will copy and paste it to you in a message. Hi Sharon. Hi Jasmine. Hi Jean. Thank you for sharing. Hi Beth. Oh my goodness, a lot of people on today. Yay! Hi, Diane. I want to take a second to thank everyone who's been sharing and participating so much over in the community group, Quilt Cards and More. That really sparks a lot of inspiration for those that are following the page. I know not everybody comments and shares. That is fine. But what I want to, the reason why I want to say thank you is because it's all of your sharing and your posting that's keeping that group going so strong. And when I see you helping each other, it warms my heart, and it's beyond what I thought the page could be when I created it. So I'm very excited. I'm very appreciative that you're making it so welcoming and so popular. So I think we're like at 2,600 members maybe. I know 3,000 is right around the corner, and I can't even wrap my brain around it because I never thought it would be that large, but that's because of the community that you have created by sharing with each other, helping each other. When other people see how helpful the group is, then they're more willing to kind of step out of their comfort zone, and maybe it's their very first share, maybe it's their very first comment, but it's because you are so welcoming to them that they feel comfortable and they feel like they found their place. So thank you very much. A little bit of Stampin' Up! News. The designer series paper that you can find in the annual catalog, that is 15% off right now through the end of August. If you are a demonstrator, you're having fun with a pre-order a month early before the September-December mini holiday catalog is coming out. And if you want to join Stamping Up, just to get your discount, if you join right now, you can pick pre-order product. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. I can help you with that. I think that's it. I think it's time to make a mystery quilt block. So while I am flipping the camera around and moving some things around in my workspace, I want you to say good morning to each other. This only takes a few seconds, but it helps me stay a little bit more organized. So I'm going to flip the camera around and just move a few things. Let's move this and these. Okay, don't want to make anybody dizzy, but I'm going to bring this mount up. And I had this problem the last time. I am not sure why. I think once I flip, I don't know why this, I think I got it too close to my There we go. I think I just have it too close to the actual camera. And everything is ready to fall down. I do not know what's happening here. Hold on, everybody. Whoa! You need to go back that way. Why are you so top heavy? There. Okay. Just got to move the books the right way. My goodness. Everything just looks so different. I don't know why. And it has everything to do with how changing my mount here. Hold on. Well, that's even worse. What in the world is going on here? Oh my gosh, I am loosening and tightening things that I never did before. Okay. We're just going to go with it here. So, okay. So you can hear me, right? I just wish that you didn't have to see my messy workstation here. And I'm giving away the mystery because everything is showing up that's not usually showing up. I know, Diane, darn it all. So the mystery is probably out of the bag, but you don't know how to put it together yet. So we're okay because you don't know how we're going to do it. So you may see it, but you don't know how we're going to do it. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Kathy. Okay, so let's get started with what I had you prep. Okay, so our base is going to be this 3-inch square, and you are going to draw a line. Is this 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides? Now, if you don't want to do it with a pencil and a ruler, you can use your scoring blade and score it 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides, okay? Leaving you a 1.5 inch square that is in the center. So I'm going to try to zoom in here a little bit. Come on. There we go. Ooh, that's a little... Okay, so you can see that, right? This is going to be the most discombobulated, is that the word I'm looking for, live that I've done yet. So this is our square, and then I had you cut, well, I had you take a focal paper. This is 3.5 inches by 4. And I pulled 3 colors from this piece of Designer Series paper that's from Unbounded Beauty. And so I went with a Berry Burst, the Pool Party. I brought in a pink just because it's different. And then these 2 squares here, it's the B side of one of the patterns, and it's an orange and pink, like a Flirty Flamingo and an orange mix. Okay, and it's why I brought in a 3rd color, which is just like the light pink, just to bring out more pink that's in this square that has the 2 colors going on. Okay, so those are 3/4 of an inch squares. And then I had you cut, this was color number 1, this was 4. Colors number 2 and 3, which you only have 1 square of each one of those. I had you cut a 3/8 of an inch by, I believe it was, maybe I put 2.5 inches on there. It's going to be a little long, but this way you don't end up with one of them short. Okay, so we're going to take our squares out of the picture here. We're going to take the focal point out. These two strips right here, we're going to cut them at 1 1/8. So you're going to put it at the top of your trimmer with the longest side up at the top. And I'm looking right here at 1 1/8. Okay, so 1 1/8. And I need two 1 1/8 inch strips. And I think I cut these right at exactly what I needed. Yeah, but I had you cut yours a little bit longer just so that you would get the length that you need. Because sometimes, you know, you just line it up a little bit, even a hair different, and it, you know, might throw you off a hair. And that's still 1 1/8. If it's a little bit longer, we can always overlap our designer series paper and make it look even. Okay, so that's all we're going to do with the trimmer. You're going to bring in just some things to work on. My silicone mat. The next thing we're going to do, you're going to bring in color number 4. Do not cut that square. Set that aside. That's going to stay whole, okay? Number 4 is going to stay whole. 1, 2, and 3, we're going to cut diagonally to get half square triangles. So I'm just going to use my snips for this. I'm just going to cut corner to corner. Now you'll notice that one of my squares is actually the opposite side of one of my main colors. So I want to, when I start putting the quilt block together, I might want to pay attention to the sides because I might like one side better than the other, but I'm going to keep these two together. And we're just going to go corner to corner there. You can do this in your trimmer if you want to. I've just been doing it by hand here lately, and it's been working out fine for me. Hold on just a second here. Got something going on with my computer. Okay, now I'm back. Hey Doris, hi Marcia, hi Debbie. Okay, Beth is like, your secret's out. I know, but you know what? Like I said, we'll put it together and you might be surprised how this works. I know, Linda, what's a messy workstation? Has anybody ever? Nobody has that, right? Okay, so bring in that 3-inch square. And I am going to work off of this. This is going to get covered up, so I'm not worried about my writing on there. We're going to start with our 3/8 by 1 1/8 inch strips. Okay. And we're going to be working on top of this 1 1/2 inch square that's right in the center. So what we're going to do, and I need to give a shout out really quick to Peggy Parental. I hope I said your last name right, Peggy. She sent me this really cool clip. Can you see this really cool clip that holds this cap to the fine tip glue bottle? I think it's just so cute. So I want to thank her for that. If you want to know where she got them, maybe if she's online, you might want to ask her. Okay, so we're going to take, it doesn't matter what color you start with. Okay, I am going to put some of this glue on the back. And I'm going to come up here in the upper left-hand corner of the middle square, not out here, the center square. And I am going to put that strip horizontal. Now I'm going to go with my next color. I'm going to put some glue down. Okay. And this is going to run right next to this berry burst one, but it's going to be vertical. Okay. And you want to use your lines or your score lines to help keep you straight. You want to keep it flush across the top. Okay. Now I'm just going to turn my base just so it's easier to work with, because I'm just going to go around. I'm just going to work around the inside of that block. I'm going to turn it again just because my hands are it's hand memory. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But my hands just seem to like have a memory of where they're supposed to reach. And so by turning my block, I'm always going to the same place. I don't have to keep trying to remember which, how is this supposed to go? Now in the middle here, I'm going to go ahead and lay some glue. And that 3/4 of an inch square that I had should fit right down in there. It might lay on top a smidge. That's okay, because when you quilt it, the magic of embossing is going to lay all of these seams down, and you're not going to notice it. So this is the beginning of our mystery block. Now, whatever color you have here in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to take the half square triangle of that same color. We're going to lay it right on top. The short side of our triangle is going to run right along our pencil line or your score line. And you're going to put that in place. This is a fairly easy block. I think you're really going to like it, and I think you might find yourselves using it for other, in your card making. Okay, so it looks like that. Now I'm going to turn counterclockwise my block 1/4 of a turn, and the berry burst that's up here, I'm going to take a half square triangle and I'm going to sit it right on top of there. Okay. So every time I turn my block, my hands are going to the exact same place. And as long as I keep doing that, I shouldn't go wrong. Okay. Counterclockwise, corner of a turn. Bring in this pool party Coastal Cabana green or blue, depending on how you see it. And then turning it once more, and we're putting this right on top of there. So I am calling this an interlocking star. Do you see how it looks like your star points are going up and going behind that strip? Now this is a scrappy version. I'll show you another version that I did so you can see what it would look like with only the 2 colors for the star. So for my scrappy version, now I'm going to bring in those other points and I'm going to finish my star. Okay, so we're just going to finish our star. And now you can really see how it looks like these different parts of the star are weaving under and maybe over each other. So that is, Kathy says it reminds her of an enhanced friendship star. At one point it did for me too with the friendship star. And then we started putting our points in and, you know, to get the full star. Hi, Tony. Thanks for sharing. Muscle memory. Thank you, you guys. You know, sometimes I start talking and my brain and my mouth, they quit working together, you know, so to speak. And you should be getting a nice little point right here in your valley when you're putting your other half square triangles on. So I'm calling it an interlocking star. I could not find a description for this block. I saw it online. I studied it. I'm like, okay, how do I want to do this? You know, because sewing a quilt block and piecing it with paper are 2 different things. Luckily, when we're using designer series paper, we can actually simplify all the steps, and it's so much easier. Not taking away from the fun of actually sewing and the challenge. I like the challenge of making sure that my points match up. I'm not really a fan of having to rip it out when they don't, but I do like the challenge when you're piecing fabric together. And I love how fast a quilt block goes together out of paper. So if you love both mediums, then you will have fun. I'm just taking my adhesive eraser and cleaning up my block. So there's the scrappy version of the interlocking star. So we've got our different colors weaving over and under. Now what did I do with, oh, here it is. Here's an example. Instead of bringing in this another color, if we keep our points, our half square triangles the same on our sides, then it looks like this blue is going under the berry burst and the berry burst is going over the blue. So you can do it either way, but it gives you that feel of those pieces interlocking together. Hey Carol, it's so nice to have you here. Hi, and Karen. Susan, Peggy, yay. So Barb likes the 2-color version. You can really get a feel for the interlocking color, but I wanted to bring in more color. So you've got a scrappy and you've got, just the 2 colors making your, you have your choices, okay? So if you go back to what you prepped, color number 1 that you cut those 2 colors for the scrappy look, you wouldn't do that. You would just cut 2 3/4 inch squares of number 2 and 2 3/4 inch squares of number 3 if you're following the prep instructions. Okay, so those are your options. And then I want to show you the embossing folder I used to quilt my block. Now this is an online exclusive. They're called Fun Patterns. I cannot find my diamond one because it obviously was not put back where it was supposed to be. So I couldn't find that one, but that's okay because what I really wanted to use was this one right here. And this will work in your mini cut and emboss machine if you have a mini. And you know what? I embossed this one. See how the pattern is laying on top of the paper? I'm going to deboss this one. So I'm just going to flip it over. And I got my machine right here. I'm going to run it through on the sturdier table so that I don't knock a lot of things off. I have 2 tables in an L shape. One's sturdier than the other, but I need the length of the one that's not so sturdy in front of me. So see how the embossing is on the wrong side? The pattern is sitting on top of the paper. When I flip it over, now I've got my pattern. It's receding into the paper. It's not sitting on top. So what I love about embossing folders is it gives us 2 options for our quilting. Do you want to see it sitting on top, or do you want it just to be an impression, you know, laying into the paper, kind of like, you know, if you were doing the stitching and it's laying down into the fabric. Okay, so we're going to keep going with the square that we just got done doing together, and now we're going to put our card together. This is a really easy layout. I like to let the quilt blocks shine and be the star of the card. No pun intended, since we just made a star. My card base is Berry Burst, and it's 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2. So it's a top fold. Okay, I have a card insert that's 4 by 5 1/4, and I just used a scrap. I didn't put that on there very straight. I used a scrap of the Designer Series paper at the bottom just to give it more interest on the inside. And I think, well, you know what? I think we can stay zoomed in a little bit. And we're just going to put our insert on the inside. Now in your prep instructions, I didn't mention cutting a strip for the bottom. I think a lot of card makers it's something that they do, but it's not something that, you know, you can't go back and do since you've already cut your pieces to get ready for today. So that's the inside. And then for the outside, your 3 1/4 or your 3 1/2 by 4 inch Designer Series paper is going to go on top. And I had you pay attention in the prep instructions. If you're using a directional paper, be careful at which way you're cutting your paper so that you don't lose your direction. And then for the bottom, this is, I think, 1 3/4 inches by 4. And we're just going to put this down as it is to give us a really interesting background that helps complement our quilt block. And I'm going to put this down, and I'm looking that the three sides are you know, pretty even, so that I have an even border. And I'm not going to stick it down really tight right there in case I have to move things around, but it's in place right now. And then we'll put this one on top. We're just looking for that nice even border all the way around. Okay, now I'm just gonna press it all into place. And I had you cut a layer to frame your quilt block. So I stayed with the same color as my card base. So I have a 3 1/4 inch square of Berry Burst. And we're just gonna layer these two. Now you have options of using dimensionals to put your quilt block on your card base. I am only going to pop up my sentiment. I'm trying to keep the card a little flat, especially for shipping. So there we've framed our quilt block. And I'm just going to position it. I'm going to be a little heavy on the top side. A little, not so, you know, I'm not trying to make it, these two sides, you know, necessarily even. It's up to you. I like things off center, just, you know, a little bit off. I think it adds interest. But that's kind of like where I'm going to put my quilt block. And I used the Unbounded Love stamp set and dies, which is part of the whole Unbounded Beauty suite. And chose just the word friend. I stamped it in Berry Burst. This die is a little different. But I thought I would give it a shot. I'm not sure if I'm a fan, but I put some dimensionals on the back. But now that I'm happy with the placement of my quilt block, I'm just going to try to center that. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. And then it's just a matter of where do you want your sentiment. I'm going to just, you know, set it off to the right side a little bit and take off the backings. Let's see if that's straight. Not too bad, Julie. Now with these little indents on the side, if I had moved this over a little bit, you could put a gem on either side of those holes if you want. Totally up to you. It's your card. And I'm going to bring in the In Color Shimmer gems. I just realized I don't have the resin dots that go with this suite. I remember when I wanted to order them some time ago, they were unavailable. And I just never went back in and ordered them when they were available. Go figure. Stampin' Up! Had my mind going to something else. You know, they came out with something else bright and shiny that I had to have. And so I didn't look back. And now I wish I had them. So now it's just a matter of putting some gems on here. I've got some other samples I want to show you, just how I just kind of did them a little different. I think what we'll do here is just go 1, just for something a little different that I didn't do on my other ones. I'm going to turn this so I can see if I'm straight or not. Okay, so I just put three little gems right there. And that's the mystery quilt block, the interlocking star. And I would like to show you the other samples that I did. Now remember, this is the star if you use the same two colors when you're putting your points on. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like versus a scrappy star when you bring in that fourth color. So, hi Sheila, good morning. Hi Pauline, thank you for being here. Okay, so some other, it's the same, these aren't any different, they're all the same designer series paper. I just put my sentiments in different areas. So this one here, I just made it more centered at the bottom and put a gem on either side. Okay. I think now might be a good time to kind of zoom out a little bit so I can get more cards here in view. Okay, so there's those two. And then for this one, I put my sentiment up at the top and just put three little gems down at the bottom. This one, I put my sentiment over to the left instead of the right, put a gem, and then just sprinkled some gems in the designer series paper for a little shimmer. And then this one, again, it's off to the right. I put a gem here and just put a couple of gems diagonally over in the other corner. So, you know, just moving the sentiments around and putting the gems in different places, changed it up a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed this mystery quilt block. And I want to give away 2 of the cards for the live, and then there will be 2 cards for replay. I'm still working on sending out last week's. So if you were a winner last week, I didn't forget about you. Still very busy with the whole puppy thing and the house and the garden and a retreat coming up. So I didn't forget about you. They will go in the mail, I promise. So why don't you type in interlocking star if you would like a chance to win a card from me. And I am just going to put my little nozzle thing back on there. Again, Peggy, thank you so much for sending me this little gadget here, this little clip that holds the tail of my little plug thing there. See, today I am just like totally, my mind and my mouth are not on the same page, but I think you know what I meant. So anyway, thank you for that. I would love to see what your stars look like. So if you would join the Quilt Cards and More community group, if you haven't already, you wouldn't know why you wouldn't want to be there. Then share your cards over there to inspire us, give us ideas that we perhaps didn't think about. And, you know, that would just be a blessing for everybody that's over in the group. So thank you so much for being here. I won't keep you so that you can go and finish your stars and post pictures over in the group. I want you to have a very blessed Thursday, and very blessed every day. So I will be connecting with everybody over in the group. This weekend, a PDF will post in the files over in the group. And this weekend, I will upload this live to the YouTube channel, which is under Julie Heights. There's no Chirpy Card Maker. It's just me personally. So if you want to follow me on YouTube, you can do that also. Okay, so, hey, Patty. Yes, please do catch replay. Eileen, Suzanne, Debbie, everybody, thank you for being here, and have fun creating your mystery quilt blocks. I'll talk to you later.